Hey, welcome to the last screencast, the final screencast in this tutorial series for Drupal Basics, getting to know Drupal. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for sticking around with me this long. I hope that it's been helpful. What today's screencast is going to be is how do I learn more about Drupal? How do I extend my knowledge of Drupal? How do I go about, where do I get more information? So I've got some really good advice for you. I'm going to start with oh man, I love this tutorial series so much. I've talked about him before, but Johan Falk, he doesn't even know me, but he doesn't realize how much I love him. Johan at Node 1 has put together this amazing screencast series called Learn Drupal 7 with Node 1, and this is where I started. I'll be honest with you, I started with this, and he has such a great way of explaining things. So I really encourage you to go through this entire learning series. He's got a terrific, it's all video based, it's all screencasts, and he walks through every single concept really, really well. And it's a great supplement to what we did because he'll explain it in a slightly different way. And it will hopefully fill in the gaps that you might have, things that I might have glossed over a little too quickly or something. So things will really start to make sense for you. So hey, if you're a fan of screencasts, definitely check out the Learn Drupal 7 with Node 1 screencast by Johan Falk. He's just does such an awesome job. And there he is hugging the Drupal dude, and isn't that cute? And by the way, all these links will be in the show notes, so you can just check that out. Another tutorial series that I really, really like is the Level 10 Interactive Getting Started with Drupal 7 tutorials. Again, I watched this. This is another way I learned. Especially one thing I didn't talk about in this particular Drupal series is how to go about installing Drupal on your server. I sort of started with the assumption that you had Drupal already installed for you. And so the installation portion was sort of a little outside the scope of what I was teaching. But Level 10 goes through this in detail and then talks a lot about the administration fundamentals, how you work with content, how you build content types, really what Drupal is so good at. And I learned a lot. I basically, combination of watching these tutorials and these tutorials, that's how I got started. Okay, I got started by watching these things. You can do it too. Okay. Another way to understand Drupal is obviously the Drupal.org site itself is an amazing resource. Okay, I just went to Drupal.org. You click on the documentation link up here, or you can just go directly to Drupal.org/documentation. And this is better if you want to just read stuff through things quickly. Understanding Drupal installation guide, everything from like site building guide. There are great user guides here to understanding Drupal and walking your way through different steps. So if you're more of the type of person who wants to read things, or if you have a specific question and you want to search for it, this is a really good place to start. There's a fantastic Drupal community, and don't be afraid to ask questions. This is actually a really good place to go. And speaking of the Drupal community, if you learn best by being with people, talking to them one-on-one, I really recommend you keep an eye out for a Drupal camp or a DrupalCon in your area. I'm in the Hamilton area. The closest one to me would have been Drupal Camp Toronto. It happened last week here, or not last week, last month here, close to me in Toronto. But there's Drupal camps all over the world. I've been to Drupal camps before. They're really fun. It's basically events where people who know about Drupal, or people who want to learn about Drupal, or people who want to learn more about Drupal all get together and share their knowledge. And there's different seminars you can go to, and they're usually really clearly indicated as which ones are for beginners, which ones are for intermediate users, which ones are for advanced. And it's just such a great way to connect with other people and just talk to them one-on-one. If you've got questions, you can ask people face to face. You just connect with other people who are learning Drupal too. And so again, Build a Module has a kind of a Drupal Camps calendar, and you can take a look here and see if there's something. They're always adding new things here, so you can see what's coming up in your area or somewhere close to you. And hopefully, like, there's something here that's coming up. And even if it's past, go to the website and sign up for updates, because it's worth marking your calendar for these events. Okay, that's what I recommend. Those screencast series, that reading the documentation, going to a Drupal camp, and of course the number one thing thing, the number one thing is just using Drupal. Nothing will really replace that whole experience piece. If you've got a website you're trying to build, going through the process of trying to build a particular website and all the problem solving you're going to have to do for that is just such a great way to learn. So go out there, don't be afraid of it. It's a great program, and it has this reputation for being intimidating and having this really steep learning curve. But I think having gone through this screencast series with you, hopefully you're feeling more confident and you're feeling like, yeah, this is all pretty logical. RoboBunny told me how to do this, and it's all pretty logical. I think I can handle this. Well, I know you can handle it. So go out there and build lots of cool Drupal sites. If you build something cool, let me know. Put it in the site comments. I'd really like to check it out. And if you have any questions, definitely get in touch with me too. Thanks so much for sticking with me throughout this entire screencast tutorial series. I hope that it's been helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.